and I'm not trying to cause a kerfuffle, Joe. Caitlin Clark is a hell of a lot better than Angel Reese.
Did y'all see Angel Reese on Wildin' Out?
Mm-hmm. I've seen Angel Reese wildin' out. I don't know if I've seen her on Wildin' Out. Angel Reese won't sit her fucking ass down. Okay, she should probably have somebody in place to let her know. See, whoever she got is telling her to go pop up everywhere. That's not what Caitlin Clark people were saying, not to make it a racial thing.
They're not saying that at all.
Not to make it a race thing.
Angel Reese's off-court choices have sparked a lot of criticism. She certainly has a strong presence in the wnba, but her persona outside of it may be taking precedence over her basketball career. Her highly publicized actions and statements have drawn plenty of negative reactions from fans and critics alike. On the other hand, Caitlin Clark has become the face of women's basketball. It boils down to her electric play on the court, but the way she carries herself beyond that has certainly made her even more of a fan favorite. She handles all of the outside pressure with class, and it has made her a great role model for others. Let's explore how the contrast between the two players illustrates the dynamics of public perception based on individual choices, narratives, and media. It's difficult to be a young star athlete in today's world. We'll be comparing Angel Reese's off-court behavior to Caitlin Clark's approach to managing an even greater celebrity status. Angel Reese's fame exploded when she won the national championship in her third year of college with the LSU Tigers. Now, this isn't usually enough to catapult a women's basketball player into stardom, but she was going against a bigger star, Caitlin Clark from Iowa. Angel Reese made herself more memorable as she kept taunting Caitlin as the game was ending. They are now both in the WNBA. Angel Reese has continued to make more waves as a rising star, and she has been able to draw more attention to herself on this stage. There are now more cameras, more press, and more national coverage on her. It's more fame than the average 22-year-old can handle, but Angel Reese seems to welcome all of the attention. Angel Reese has a very active social media presence. She has over 4 million Instagram followers and even more followers on TikTok. Her name is always trending and visible on many different online platforms. Her fame makes her the ideal candidate for endorsement deals. She has many endorsement deals with large brands such as Reebok, Amazon, Airbnb, Tampax, SI Swimsuit, PlayStation, and many more. Angel Reese is outspoken on some of the most controversial topics on the internet, such as gender inequality, racial inequality, mental health, and salaries. These are the types of topics that tend to end up in fiery discussions. She finds many ways to end up on trending social media clips and get people talking about her. One of the ways she gets to do this is through her podcast. She has a podcast named Unapologetically. Angel, as you can sense from the name alone, this is the medium where she will voice out her opinions candidly and constantly despite any controversy. The podcast has given her the ability to stay relevant, despite her injury preventing her from playing basketball. In the very first episode of the podcast, she already talked about her rivalry with Caitlin Clark and called the fans of Caitlin from Iowa to Indiana disrespectful and racist.
So I think it's really just the fans, her fans, the Iowa fans, now the Indiana fans that are like, they ride for her. And I respect that respectfully, but sometimes it's very disrespectful. I think there's a lot of racism when it comes to it, and I don't believe she stands on any of that.
She has also caught flack for hosting a show where guest Kyla Nicole shared questionable stories regarding her ex-boyfriend Travis Kelce, who is now dating Taylor Swift. Angel Reese even stated in the podcast, "I loved you two together." The segment has gotten her a lot of negative publicity online. There is a large amount of Taylor Swift fans, and they are some of the most devoted celebrity fan bases there are online. Baiting outrage among them will do no favors for Angel Reese's positive public perception, yet this will lead to her name being mentioned much more on social media. This is a technique that many content creators and public figures use to generate e-fame. A lot of hate is likely by design here, even down to the name of the podcast, calling itself Unapologetic Negative Engagement. After all, is still engagement, and attention is the most important currency on social media. Angel Reese has also gotten a lot of attention for her actions outside of social media. She has made tons of appearances at various events. One notable example is her recent appearance on MTV's Wild 'N Out, hosted by Nick Cannon. This was what started a conversation about Angel Reese's many appearances during the 766th episode of the Joe Budden podcast, hosted by rapper Joe Budden.
Wait, you was talking about WNBA earlier. Did y'all see Angel Reese on Wild 'N Out?
I've seen Angel Reese wilding out. I don't know if I've seen her on wilding out. Angel Reese won't sit her fucking ass down.
They refer to Angel Reese being seen in many different events, always being visible in the public eye. Her appearance at MTV's Wild 'N Out specifically was subject to a lot of attention and criticism for her outfit, which was labeled by many as promiscuous or skimpy. These outfit choices are a constant criticism of Angel Reese during her various public appearances. She attended the Victoria's Secret fashion show in New York City, with some sources noting that she even stood out from the models with her eye-catching dress and new hairstyle. Angel Reese also made an appearance on stage at an Usher concert in Los Angeles. Usher came to her, and she even ended up singing with Usher's microphone. She went to the Paris Olympics just to watch the women's basketball games, since she was not invited to play for the team herself. This was all in between her constantly making content to keep appearing on social media timelines. Some have suggested that she should take a different approach to her public relations. This leads into another comparison with Caitlin Clark. Joe Budden suggested that fellow double wnba rookie star Angel Reese should take notes from the way the wnba Rookie of the Year, Caitlin Clark, lays out of the public eye.
Okay, she should probably have somebody in place to let her know. See, whoever she got is telling her to go pop up everywhere. That's not what Caitlin Clark people were saying, not to make it a racial
They're
thing.
not saying that at all.
Not to make it a race thing. It's just, we just on some star rookie shit now.
Tell me
All
some
season,
social
you
life.
keep putting yourself in the same box as Caitlin Clark, but it's more than basketball. That's the same, my point with Cole. It's more than rap. It's more than rap. It's more than this. I wish Angel Reese nothing but the best.
Same.
People have been comparing the two women's basketball stars ever since their college days. As soon as Angel Reese started taunting Caitlin Clark during the national championship game, the discussion surrounding their rivalry became more than just basketball, but also how they carried themselves off the court. Angel Reese was copying Caitlin Clark's "You Can't See Me," and she was pointing to her ring finger once she knew her team had secured the win for the title. LSU ended up coming away with the national championship over Iowa that year. In the post-press conference, Caitlin Clark was a class act despite their heartbreaking loss. A reporter had asked her about Angel Reese taunting her.
There's a lot blown up on Twitter about Angel Reese following you around, pointing to her ring finger and taunting you.
Honestly, I have no idea. I was just trying to get to the handshake line and shake hands and, be grateful that my team was in that position. That's all you can do is, hold your head high, be proud of what you did, and, all the credit in the world to LSU. They were tremendous. They deserve it.
Caitlin Clark made sure to give credit where credit is due, may it be towards unsportsmanlike opponents. She wanted to shake hands with all of them. Still, she spun a potentially controversial question into a way to remain positive about what just transpired. Tied there is a toughness in how she approaches the huge loss without shame, victimhood, or animosity towards others. Let's compare that to how Angel Reese conducted herself at the post-game press conference the next year when they didn't end up winning the national championship. Surrounded by her teammates, she started venting about all of the outside sources of tragedy in her life. She was crying to the media about how hard her life has been ever since winning the championship last year. Reactions to this video were saying that she was a sore loser who was using the victim card for a national championship moment that was much bigger than her. The coverage of Angel Reese postgame came from media that now felt sorry for her for reasons outside of the championship game that had just transpired.
I've been through so much. I've seen so much. I've been attacked so many times. Death threats. I've been sexualized. I've been threatened. I've been so many things, and I've stood strong every single time. And I just try to stand strong for my teammates because I don't want them to see me down and not be there for them. So I just want them to always just know I'm still a human. All this has happened since I won the national championship, and I said the other day I haven't had peace since then. And it sucks, but I still wouldn't change. I wouldn't change anything, and I would still sit here and say I'm unapologetically me.
During other interviews, she doesn't feel sorry for herself at all. She was boasting about the national championship game against Caitlin Clark. She was specifically saying that women's basketball is not more popular now, only because of Caitlin Clark, but that she also deserves a lot of credit for that.
I think so many people are watching women's basketball right now. It all started from the national championship game, and I've been dealing with this for 2 years now. People are talking about women's basketball, but you never would think that we'd be talking about women's basketball. People are pulling up to games. We got celebrities coming to games, sold out arenas, like just because of one single game. And I know I'll go down in history. I'll look back in 20 years and be like, yeah, the reason why we watching women's basketball is not just because of one person. It's because of me too, and I want y'all to realize that. Like, it's not just because of one person. A lot of us have done so much for this game, and
once they got to the league, this kind of sentiment remained despite the overwhelming data that states Caitlin Clark was bringing more attention to the WNBA than anyone by a large margin. People are ready to take that credit away from her. Even the WNBA commissioner, who gets more chances now to speak publicly because of the wide interest in Clark, often ends up deflecting that interest towards other, less popular players. Meanwhile, the fan perception of Angel Reese as a WNBA player has still been very negative. This doesn't make her an ideal representative of the women's league. Angel Reese's outspoken nature seeps into her play on the basketball court as well. She has previously been ejected from the game for foul words that she had said in the middle of the game. She has been touted as overly aggressive with a style of play that gets too physical and can at times be described as dirty. This is shown further when she has put up against Caitlin Clark. This is why young stars like Angel Reese must be careful. Angel Reese is very clearly choosing a different path from Caitlin Clark. Right now, it's not too late to take note of all of the warning signs and learn from Caitlin as well as other WNBA greats that have come before her. She must be humble and grounded in the important things that should take priority in her life. Angel Reese should be way more conscious of her public image since the WNBA is still an entertainment product. At the end of the day, the public image of the women's basketball players will dictate everything in their careers moving forward. Legend, do you agree with Joe One and the critics of Angel Reese? What do you think about her recent actions? Do you think she will turn things around and learn to be more like Caitlin Clark? Let us know in the comments below. The WNBA landscape has completely changed, and so their athletes have to get used to having many more fans and critics alike. An excellent handle on one's public image will be key to any promising career as a superstar. We hope the best for the young rising stars of the WNBA.